Day to you. No boyfriends, no boyfriends. Oh, jeez. We're starting off this episode finally collecting those giant wooden beams. I've enlisted the help of my friends Ed and Lee brought around his trailer, and it's not quite big enough, but we're gonna make it work. These beams are extremely heavy. I'm talking 300 pounds each. They are thick Douglas fir. It's 20 feet long, 19 inches wide, and 3.5 inches thick. And this stuff is dense.
Hey, you ready to go between the legs?
I am, yeah. It's confronting view. All right. Nailed it, off to Silva Bay.
As I said in the previous episode, these beams were donated by Chris. He hauled them off the beach like 10 or 12 years ago, and they've been sitting there drying ever since. And now they're going to make perfect beam stock. Alright, so we're in the aft cabin now, and I need to make a mold for the beams. That means that I need to measure the beams and get a good idea of their slope and their slope change. And I'm stringing an indicator line across the beam for the whole run to measure my midpoint. Okay, so that's 4 3/4. It goes back down. 4 3/4, 4 and up here, 4 7/8. So what we're doing is making a template for the beams, and just to ensure that I'm not out of my mind entirely, there's 3 1/4, and this beam is shorter because the hole tapers in. And my plan is to use a single mold for all the beams. If only I had a friend, so lonely, can't hold it. 139, 11.5 feet. Yeah, I'll do the math and ensure that we're got a consistent slope. Alright, I'm not sure if I addressed this already in this video, but the reason I'm doing the bright work, it might not seem important given the fact that my boat needs a new deck and my steering is currently not working and my engine hasn't been flashed up in a year, and you know, I have no idea the state of my rigging. It's not actually all that important cosmetically, but what it is I'm getting a ton of leaking. sunny right now. It's not always sunny, and I have still a lot of leaks. And I have a lot of leaks through the Brightwork. This pilot house, a lot of the leaks are ending up in my galley. I'd like to live on this boat, and I can't be living somewhere where I have dripping in the galley. So the galley has to be dry. So to do that, I gotta re-caulk and stain and varnish everything. And then it's all sealed up again. And then I can track down whatever other leaks are still happening, because there'll probably be more. One of the other little tiny leaks is this window. It's the only one that's cracked out of all the butterfly hatches. So these windows are protected by metal grates. And it looks like this is a double pane window with a safety glass bit in between, or a safety glass piece of veneer. So what I'm going to do is just pop this trim off and go get another one of these made. And then I can put it back in and finish my varnishing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are re-caulking the pilot house here. Now, as you can see, some of these boards have small gaps. I'm on the starboard side, but over on the port side, they're quite a bit larger. So I'm trying to go kind of uniform on everything, and I'm just first I'm going through with the X-Acto knife, kind of knocking stuff loose, and then I go into the gap with this grouting bit on my oscillating tool, and that gives me a very uniform, clean look. It's the same size as all of the teak planking up here on top of this chunk of the pilot house, and so we're going to do all of this chunk the same way, clear it all out, and then we'll be able to sand it back, stain it, and varnish it. Well, the day has finally arrived. It's time for Perry to go to the dock, so Dusty and I are towing her in. And of course, seaplanes. Perfect timing, eh? Look at this.
A little of this?
Perfect.
Oh yeah, baby.
All right.
Get it.
First chunk of the teak rail is off. And now we're looking down my 1/4 inch thick, 1/8 inch thick hull up here. And that's what we gotta fix. 1/8 inch of hull is not enough for a blue water boat. Hi, honey. Chris and Adele came by with their pooch to help me out on the boat project. They have a local YouTube channel called Sailing BC, and it's all about them traveling around on their Jeannot, a beautiful boat.
So, of course, I got him to take a fireman's axe to my deck. Seldom seen a sailor more uncomfortable.
So the idea here is we're going to keep the teak fascia attached to the boat as long as possible, and we're going to use it and the fiberglass here to make up the mold for the glass that's got to go over top. Now, if you look back here to this section, we've ground out almost everything, and you can see this is where the hull kind of ends right here, and this is the section we got to build up. So it's got to come out, you know, 3/4 of an inch or so. Hi, honey. Yes, I know. Hi. Yes. Okay. And that's it. That's the idea. So we just got to grind everything back down to this and start laying glass. Easy peasy, right?
Oh, you know, that's a lot of sauce.
That's a lot of wings, yeah. So the grilling mat is to keep the barbecue cleaner, but also to keep the moisture in the chicken. I've never seen one of these. Is this silicone, you said?
Yeah, silicone.
Wow.
It's amazing.
I get some of that.
Oh shit. No, you had too many wings.
After a long day of circular saws and fireman's axes, you crack open a few beers and you let that grill rip and pretty much guarantee that all the YouTube sailors are going to make their way down to your boat. It's been a lovely time hanging out with these two and their pooch. And if you guys would like to hang out with them some more, check out the link in the description. Their YouTube channel's right there. Alright, playtime's over. Let's crack out the chainsaw. Let's go.
Just in time. Go on, get to work. Let's go. It's chainsaw time. It's your favorite. Let's go.
Not only if there's asbestos in there.
Only if there's asbestos. That's right. Well, also, I'm sure we could scrounge some up for you.
How's it going?
Well, feeling kind of breezy in here, to be honest.
That's all right.
Yeah, sorta. It's less work to do it this way. That's the main thing. There are some chunks that aren't completely rotten, but the fact that the entire hull along here is all rotten, and it's 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch thick, and needs to be mated to the original hull because this was just like laminate plywood garbage. So all of these little holes that the rails went through, each one of them just funneled water underneath, and everything underneath is totally gone. And that was the entire structure that supported this whole deck. They just screwed it to the plywood instead of like extending the hull and actually doing the glass work. So there you go. Now it's all going to come out, because even if I did manage to glass all of this somehow with the deck still on, I'd still have to sister 18 beam ends to a hull that's now like further out, because I'm only going to do like 3/4 inch or whatever of glass instead of like that 1.5 inch of plywood that was here. See, this is the side that was more solid. This is the port side of the aft cabin here. And it might be solid, but there's so much water in here. Like, it hasn't rained in a month. And there's so much water in this. Like, this has been off now for a full 48 hours. And everything, the water's just gushing out of this plywood. And all of the screws are bronze screws, and they've corroded. They've all turned pink from just how much salty, briny water has been pouring down through these scuppers here. Like, yeah, this had to get done. There's really no way I could have not done this, unfortunately. All right, here we go. We are now at the stage where a little bit more sanding and some repairs to our form, and we can start laying up glass very, very soon.
It's molded.
This guy helped.
It's gonna fit.
It's his birthday today. He's turning 25. His frontal lobe is formed, so we're gonna go get it messed up with some drinks. Let's go.
Yeah.
This lazy bum. We've been slaving for days. Where have you been? Huh? The 3-dog medley.
Oh, true. Yeah.
You beating them all up, honey? You
Getting
beating them all up? These puppies.
It's your favorite friend.
Could be at anchor, could be at the docks, could be out the open ocean, could be maybe a little, you know, every story.
I feel like that's.
Day to you. There you go.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get it.
No boyfriends, no boyfriends. Oh, jeez. Nathan, tell the kids at home what it's like to be 25 in the year of our Lord 2025.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm officially an adult now, and
Yeah.
by all biological means. So
Congratulations, being an adult
yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to take a lot of responsibility and be.
There's so much responsibility for you to take. Here's a burning world. You get to have it. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You know,
I'd like to thank everyone that came before me that left me with a shithole.
yeah, just hand it to the next generation with a full tank of gas, okay? All right.
Now they're called meat dirt.
Check this out. Look at that suspension. Yeah, boys, bottomed out. Why is it bottomed out? I don't know. I put a whole boat in there. Jeez. So yeah, that deck is pretty thick and pretty heavy. Bottoming out my suspension. We're gonna take it over to Nanaimo and get rid of it. Whew. And on to the new stuff.
Well, the deck is off, and that's it for this week. We'll see you guys next week on Friday. In the meantime, please check out Sailing BC. The link is in the description. And thank you so much to everyone who helped out this week. You guys are awesome. Cheers. See you next Friday.